many of us know a Christian who is always defeated? Maybe you are that one who constantly struggles to stay encouraged and to keep your chin up. You may have noticed the title of today's devotion, but in case you didn't, I want to draw your attention to what it says and why I chose the order as I did. I'm talking to us about knees down and chin up. We can all remember hearing a parent or teacher say this to us when we were kids because something or someone had hurt our feelings. Maybe we were defeated because our kickball team didn't win the game at recess time. Whatever the cause, when they saw us down and out, they'd say, "Get your chin up." No one enjoys being in the presence of someone whose chin is down in defeat. As Christians, we are to be the light of the world, and we shine much brighter with our chin up in faith and joy. So why did I select knees down first in my title? Because the position of our knees is the key reason why so many have their chin up or their chin down. Let me explain. If you live your life on your knees, you'll have to remind yourself not to carry your chin so high, because you will live a life of victory when you dedicate your life to prayer. But if you rarely bow down on your knees, if you don't live a life of prayer, if the only time you pray is when trouble comes, well, you will tend to be one of those whose chin drags the floor. I fully understand that we face trials that can cause our smile to fade, but for the one who stays on their knees, it won't be long, and through the tears, their chin will rise and their smile will return. Luke 18 and verse 1 tells us, "And he, Jesus, spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint." Mark 14 and 38, "Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak." In James 5:16, the latter part says, "The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much." Colossians 4 and 2, "Continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving." These are just a small drop compared to all the scriptures that encourages us to pray. I love reading the book of Nehemiah. He is a wonderful example of this thought. He had heard of the trouble and destruction of his homeland. It caused his heart to be sad, yet he prayed. Nehemiah was the cupbearer to the king. So when he came in, the king noticed that Nehemiah was sad. His chin must have been low. But after the king asked what was wrong and what he could do to help him, Nehemiah said in chapter 2 and verse 4, "So I prayed to the God of heaven." We don't know what he prayed, but he was such a man of prayer that even a short prayer moved the heart of God. Now, Nehemiah is not a long book in the Bible. It's just 13 chapters. But in those 13 chapters, we read either the prayers of Nehemiah or the words that he prayed at least 10 different times. Over and over he prayed. And we never read again that his chin was down. Instead, we read when the enemy came to discourage Nehemiah and those working with him, he would encourage the workers on the wall. "Be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brothers, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. Or he would answer the enemy, I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? One place he said, should such a man as I flee? Because he was a man of prayer, he was also a man who kept his chin up with confidence in his God. David was also a man of prayer, but he was a man with many emotions as well. Many times in the book of Psalms, we find that David would come to God with a heavy, cast down heart, his chin hanging low. But his chin never stayed down long because David would go to God in prayer. David often used the word cry, which simply means that he would lift his voice or that he cried aloud in prayer. Psalm 28:1, he had his knees down. Unto thee will I cry, O Lord, my rock. Be not silent to me, lest if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee. Now in verse 6, his chin is up. Blessed be the Lord, because he hath heard the voice of my supplications. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusteth in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth, and with my song will I praise him. Psalm 30 and verse 2, knees down again. O Lord my God, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. Verse 11, chin up. Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness. David was able to live a life of victory because he prayed. Friend, if you struggle to keep the victory, if you constantly find yourself downcast, maybe you need to make sure that you are in the right position. Let's keep our knees down and our chin up. It's the Lord's will that we live in victory. May God bless you and give you his peace.